What kind of a story would people like to generate right now? Just a second.
Fairy tale.
What was that?
Fairy tale.
A fairy tale? Fantastic. Great. A fairy tale. Is this fairy tale going to have a dark tone to it or a light tone to it?
Knowing us, probably dark.
Dark.
It's going to have a dark tone to it, but it will have morsels of philosophical wisdom, little things that we can learn along the way, little things that we can discover, sources of hope that don't necessarily have to do with the plot, but with our insight and awareness of the plot, right? I need a particular character that you would encounter in a fairy tale that might be the one that you want to read more stories about, the kind you wish people would do fairy tale sequels about.
Troll under the bridge.
What was that? The troll under the bridge? Fantastic. The troll under the bridge.
The talking sidekick frog.
The talking sidekick frog. Okay.
The birds that always peck out the antagonist's eyes.
Oh, and we have antagonistic birds. Okay.
Beetle, the tinkerer and bard that he meets that sells him the item he needs to complete his quest in the end.
The tinkerer and bard who provides the tokens he needs to finish his quest. And prizes. Great, this is good. What we need now is some name for this particular troll's adventure or quest.
A Merry Lark on Sunday.
A Merry Lark on Sunday. Ah, yes. On the pages of Grimm's fairy tales, sometimes translated as a melodious lark on Sunday, sometimes translated as a dark and mysterious lark on Sunday, sometimes translated as a hysterical shrike on the Sabbath day. It depends on how you translate the German, but this is early 19th century, collected from Northern Europe, and one of the more popular translations is a version that tries to lighten the Grimm version just a little bit, and it's called A Merry Lark on Sunday. It's about the troll under the bridge. It involves, of course, characters that we recognize from fairy tales everywhere, like the talking frog sidekick, behind the troll under the bridge. But of course, it has some remarkable scenes involving antagonistic birds pecking people's eyes out. And of course, it's got your helper figures, like we find in many folk tales. We have, a character of a bard who provides tokens as part of this particular adventure. Hey, John.
Hey!
Welcome, man. I like your scene, but this is really good. It's very soothing. From space. So, John, we're doing a narrated story of A Merry Lark on Sunday, about the troll under the bridge, whose name we don't even know yet, not in this translation. Fantastic. Yeah, so just like Lemur King, what's going to happen is just interject our particular bits, including my own narration here, with a musical phrase. So just add some music in between.
Let me see. Let me get a proper
You bet.
volume.
You bet.
Is that a little softer?
That's good. Yep.
Sunday was a very calm day, and Bartholomew was not a very calm troll. So one day, on his Sunday, he found his way on a walk, out to find someplace a little less calm and a little more to his liking.
Somebody else continue that. Somebody else pick up that narrative.
Arriving later at the local bar and inn, Bartholomew found the drunken antics were much more to his liking, but the people were not.
Bartholomew decided he would cause a little chaos, do a little damage to those enjoying this bar and inn on Sunday.
Yeah, I remember, and as I look at this copy in this old tome, I remember if I just turn a couple of pages, there's actual dialogue from that bar fight. It's done in like this rhyming, dueling combat language where they're fighting with words as well as fighting with objects in the bar. And I think, yeah, there are like 4 people in this. Who are my 4 people who are in this scene?
I want to smash and turn you into hash.
You fool, you cannot defeat me, for my muscles have the power of 3.
The drink has made him strong, but that won't stay for very long. If you want to beat him in a fight, you best do it before tonight.
What a shame that you've clearly spent the morning working on your hair, because your hairdo has no match against this chair.
You silly drab, you think a chair can destroy my fabulous hair? My hair is where my power lies, and yours is in the skies.
If any of you want a drop to drink more, be away from the bar and go out the door.
I will not go until I have thrown all of you to the ground. Pound, 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 pound.
There ensues a description of all of the bodies sort of piling up in the tavern as each of these individuals is horribly slaughtered by another until none of them are left, except, of course, for our central character. What was our central character's name again?
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew, right? The troll under the bridge, right? Yeah, so there's Bartholomew in the pile of all of these bodies. And this is one of those classic moments that introduces the sidekick, doing that classic comic repartee between our lead character and the talking frog sidekick. We need 2 players who are going to show me that scene.
Me never drink again.
Hey, look at all these bodies.
Stick the frog.
Hey,
You found me at bar.
I always know to find you at the bar amongst all the bodies.
Me make many bodies from drunken antics.
Where was my invite?
You know these things just happen spontaneously, Shitstick. It's not playing well.
This is, in fact, the first recorded use of the phrase shit stick. Translations, of course, vary on this particular term, but this is, the translator has chosen boldly to try and capture the shocking value of the original text. We return to the scene later on.
I have an idea.
What idea, Shitstick?
We should hunt down every bar and inn in the land and slaughter everybody.
Shitstick, do you mean deadly pub crawl?
That's exactly what I mean.
Now, I'll spare our readers a description of each of the pubs that they crawled to and how many they killed on this particular deadly pub crawl. For not long after that gory passage is one of the more beautiful passages of narrative that one ever encounters in folktales. This flight of fancy lyrical passage describing the entry of the lark. And
Bartholomew, after many drinks, had a lie down, and he thinks, what a world of drink and blood. What a world. But then, a song above is heard. And what does he see above but a bright blue bird with long feathers, diving quickly. And because of the drink, the speed made him feel sickly. But not just the drink caused the sickness of this forlorn troll. The sickness was also love. And in his heart grew the brightest light, one that would cut through any night. He had never heard a song before, not in his home or out the door. So this bird spoke to his heart And this is where our hero's story starts.
It's shit stick. You see that?
No way.
That's what I thought.
Is that really what I think it is?
They're pretty.
What? You cut out, I'm sorry.
Me said very pretty.
Very pretty indeed. Maybe we should wait to slaughter that one.
All right. Now we find an interesting shift in the narrative here that changes from our hero to the point of view of the lark. This is, of course, a family of eyeball-pecking birds. These are the birds that we were discussing earlier, the ones that are commonly instruments of vengeance. This rendition, as captured by the Brothers Grimm, actually shows us the insight into the hearts, minds, and feathers of these animals.
Larry? Hello, Lark family.
Hello, Father.
I come bearing dinner once more. Worm!
Yay, worms!
My children,
Raining
feast.
worms!
Hold on, there's a little bit. Oh, a hard day's work to feed my lark family.
You did enough flying today, didn't you?
Father, I tire of worms. I desire eyeballs.
Eyeballs, eyeballs, eyeballs.
Eyeballs! Eyeballs! I second that, Father!
Now, children, you have a very poor understanding of the eyeball economy and how much it costs to buy an eyeball these days.
Not an
I'll tell you what.
eyeball. They're a dime a dozen.
I'll tell you what, children. Come with me on a lark journey, and we shall gather all the eyeballs we desire.
Yay, eyeballs!
Eyeballs! Eyeballs!
Eyeballs!
Yes, my children, rise. Join me in the feasting.
And feeling left behind, our heroine Lark has a profound moment of revelation about the nature of the universe. And there's a brief poem in the middle of this folktale that describes the heart of this lark, who is different from the other larks.
She thinks they want eyeballs. But I know when they all fall, that's not where my heart is. I must journey to find other sustenance. I'm only a lark, but my heart is as grand as a burning brand. I'll find food that aren't eyeballs. Perhaps at the bottom of some waterfalls.
There follows, after this poem, of course, a long and famous list of foods that are safe to eat when you find yourself lost in the woods. One of the ways in which this particular fairy tale was regarded as useful, and probably why it survived to the form in which the Grimms managed to capture it. And this is the scene in which the tinker sets our hero, Bartholomew, on his quest for the heart of the lark.
Jimbo, you ever meet someone like cool, I wasn't sure if you were paying attention to me. You ever meet someone who makes you happy? Does this make
Talking
sense?
about me, boss?
Sure. Shitstick, can you go outside for a minute?
Sure thing, boss.
Thanks.
Bart, no, I've seen a change in you over the past few days.
How?
Well, it's not a change you can see, Bart. Something you can feel. You don't slouch when you walk now. I've
You have
hardly,
better posture.
I've hardly seen you drink human blood in the past week.
Me not so hungry.
I think you're hungry for something else.
What do you insinuate?
Would you say that again, Bart? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, me have same for you. What you insinuate by hunger for other things?
Well, Bart, seems based on what you've come to talk to me about today, that you were trying to look and find maybe somebody to
what?
to live your life with.
Hey, boss, I'm poking my head through the window. Is it possible he's talking about me?
Is it possible you talk about shitstick?
You know, Shitstick is a fine frog, and I think they'll hold a place in your stream forever.
There follows several pages of descriptions of Shitstick's better properties, but we'll skip to the part where, in fact, our mentor provides the magical object that will be the secret power that gets Bartholomew through his quest.
No, Bart. It's been a long time since I've traveled, and I haven't had need of my loot in a good long while. And I find the thing that always makes a woman love someone is their ability to show that they have a song in their heart. And by the looks of you, I can tell there's one in there waiting to come out. Oh, I also have
Thank
some
you, Jimbo.
that'll help too.
What?
I also have some deodorant. That'll help too.
All right, what we need now is we're going to move just a page or two forward in the story, and we're going to come to the part, there are going to be a series of adventures in which we encounter Bartholomew encounters a particular enemy or obstacle on his quest. In each scene, we find Bartholomew looking for that song in his heart. And there in every scene, of course, is the trusty frog sidekick trying to help Bartholomew realize the truth, find that song in his heart. But in each of these encounters, there's some kind of failure. Even though he defeats the villain, he still hasn't found that song in his heart. Let's see the first one of these. So who's our opponent in the first one of these? Announce yourself as the obstacle that Bartholomew encounters.
I am a bushel of buffalo grass.
Let's see the scene between the bushel of buffalo grass, buffalo grass, and Bartholomew.
Yes.
Hello, bushel of buffalo grass.
Hello there.
We need to be on the other side of you.
I cannot allow that. You see, I am a hazard, and I'm protecting this walkway from little gremlins such as you.
Bartholomew, here in my trusty large infinite satchel, kind of like Mary Poppins, I have this lawnmower. Maybe you can use this to defeat the buffalo grass and find your song.
Here the translations vary, but lawnmower seems one of the more insightful interpretations of the completely obscure German original. We continue.
You see.
It's
Go ahead, kind sir.
Shitstick. Bartholomew of 1 week ago would probably mow grass and forget. But Bartholomew now see there more to life than drunken brawls. Take lawnmower back. But grass, let me ask you this. Do you consider yourself a hazard because you want to be? Are you being a hazard to your own self-discovery As a result, this applies to me. Maybe I play you song, Mr. Grass. Today, you find not want to let people pass. But tomorrow, no more sorrow, as you become a happier grass. Today, things not great, but tomorrow, hey, we'll see.
We'll see.
Today, may be a bummer,
A bummer.
but tomorrow, looking for me, for you, for me, we look for that special someone. That it.
I could clap my hands. I wouldn't do.
This, of course, leads to yet another adventure with yet another obstacle.
Hello.
Hello?
What brings you to these neck of the woods? Ugly ass.
Hey, that's shit sticking Bartholomew to you.
All right, ugly ass 1 and ugly ass 2. I hate you. Get out.
This cat is very mean.
Bartholomew, I have an idea. Let me pull out my satchel again. I have this obnoxiously long cat tree. Maybe this.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You may be on something.
This is the shittiest cat tree ever.
It didn't work.
It's still kind of fun, but mostly I hate it because you're ugly.
Pitstick, me have idea. Can you get me from your satchel my loot and a bottle of water with a spray cap?
Here you go, Bartholomew.
Thank you. Mr. Cat, me play you song now.
Oh my god! Oh, it burns! It's better than looking at you, though.
That leads us to the next scene, the next crisis. What's that read?
Oh, Bartholomew, is that you? It's your mother, Momtholomew. Can you make sure to mow the lawn and feed the cat? Oh my goodness, Shitstick, is that you? It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too. Bartholomew, here's my satchel. I think maybe the lawnmower will help this time.
You may be right.
What was that, honey? Come in, I've got some blood sausages brewing.
Yes, Mom. Me finished mowing lawn. You can see by lawn I hold.
Oh, very good. You're such a good son. Oh, come here and let me pinch your little cheeks.
Oh no. Bartholomew, here's your loot again.
Thank you.
We find that the mysterious narrator, and perhaps this is just another narrative intruding on this particular story, suddenly switches perspective to the thought processes of the lark. And so it's an argument between the lark and all the other birds in its life, in a series of just, fragmentary conversations. So everybody's involved in this one. But the lark is basically trying to explain why it wants to pursue its heart and find the troll that lives under the bridge. Bartholomew, let's see it.
Now, I'm just a simple lark who wants an eyeball from time to time. But I find maybe there's more than life. Maybe there's more to life than just one eyeball.
2 eyeballs.
2 eyeballs.
What kind of troll is he?
Well, I heard he's been looking around for quite a while. And that makes me think he might have some pretty good eyeballs.
If he does a lot of looking, his eyeballs will be strong and healthy.
That is correct. And what makes for a great and delicious lark meal? Nothing better than some fresh eyeballs.
I heard a rumor that trolls have 3 eyeballs.
3 eyeballs?
Oh, I hope they're juicy.
I hope I can make leftovers this time,
I
honestly.
hope he's got glaucoma.
Oh.
And when we're done with the eyeballs, we can peck out his liver.
I wonder if I can steam roast eyeballs.
I don't think I'll ever have as good of an eyeball as I had last week. That one that came from that old witch was the most deliciously savory thing I had ever tasted.
I was watching this thing on Lark Food Network that said if I took worms and eyeballs, I could make some sort of spaghetti concoction.
Check it out. Check it out. I'm flying upside down.
These lark stink eyeballs just grow on people and trolls. When I lost my eyeball in 1986, it was never the same.
You know, it's been a good month since the last princess has ordered us to murder someone. I'm hoping that enough comes around, otherwise it'll be
eyeballs.
I wonder what it's like to eat a protagonist eyeball. Or is that too taboo?
We find ourselves after that profound metafictive thought, returning to the story of our hero and his sidekick, Shitstick. And this is, of course, the moment when Shitstick accidentally eats a magic mushroom and oversleeps. This is the dream that Shitstick has. This is Shitstick's dream that right before the penultimate scene.
Shitstick. We love Lark more than you.
Shitstick, it's your mother. Your father and I, we never loved you. You're ugly.
I hope that you fall into my buffalo bushel and poke your eyes out.
You're going to be fired tomorrow.
And inside this bag, we have more self-doubt, and more self-doubt, and more self-doubt.
And so much time thinking about if a frog could talk. Never asked Potter to ask if they should talk.
What the fuck is buffalo grass?
You're just a sidekick in this story.
God, you're the prettiest frog I've ever seen.
I love being a sidekick.
Shitstick. I am here, and I am the end to your endless bag of good things.
Get
Bag
this.
is endless.
Have you ever thought about being front stick?
Oh no, Shitstick, look down. You're having an adventure in your underwear.
Ah!
Your feet webbing is now bees.
Feet? That's kind of cool.
Uh-oh, Shitstick. You went on an adventure and forgot your endless bag.
Uh-oh, Shitstick. Bartholomew shoved you inside the little hole in his lute, and now all you can hear is really loud, shitty music.
Uh-oh, Shitstick, now you're the lark, and you're picking out your own eyes.
Your bee feet are now wasp feet.
Less cool.
And with that striking image, of Shitstick reaching into the endless bag and pulling out yet another endless bag, and pulling out another endless bag, and then pulling out of the endless bag another version of Shitstick, and then Shitstick pulling out another version of Shitstick from inside Shitstick. Shitstick wakes screaming, but meanwhile, our hero Bartholomew is finally meeting with the Lark. And this is the profound scene around which the entire fairy tale revolves. Let's see that scene right now.
When will my truth be heard? When will my eyes begin to see?
When will I peck out his eyes? When will they be mine for me to feast?
When will I find the song? One that's in my heart.
How can he be my friend, though I can peck him apart?
When will me find my lark? When will me find my number one? When will me find the reason I came on this journey?
Will I find the reason that I came on this earth?
Today might be the day, and if not today, then tomorrow.
Wait, here's something. I think I hear a lute off in the distance. And
Today.
well, I have to go closer to find out.
Oh, look at his eyes! Look at his eyes! There they are!
You are the reason I was put on this earth.
You are the reason I put down the axe.
You are the song that's singing in my heart.
And now you're going to be my snack!
My eyes!
Bartholomew, I'll save you. Let me pull out my trusty lark bird-eating eyeballs anti-sword.
No!
Ah!
Sing, 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 sing. Oh,
Now, while
that
the
was a
sudden
bad one, it's okay.
while the sudden climactic appearance of Shitstick, saving the day by means of a miraculous deus ex machina, is probably the work of a later author attempting to sanitize the original dark narrative, it is nevertheless one of the more striking elements of this particular fairy tale. But before we end our experience with the tale of Bartholomew, a Merry Lark on Sunday, there is of course the final scene, which involves the tinker, the advisor, with a band of his students talking about the moral lessons they've learned from the story of Bartholomew. We take you now to that scene of the tinker / bard / wise guru mentor figure and his students talking about what they've learned from Bartholomew and the Lark.
Yes, Billy.
Yeah, Jimbo. So what do you think Shitstick's role was in all of it?
Well, Shitstick obviously represented the spirit of vengeance, and so just as the troll lost his eyes, the birds lost their eyes. Yeah.
Okay.
Millie, you go.
Yeah, I think Shitstick represents so much more than that. I think he represents friendship and like trust and love, as he was willing to sacrifice himself for Bartholomew.
You know, Millie, I gathered throughout the story that you really empathized with Shitstick, and I can't think why that's the case. Not Millie, but Lily. Go.
Oh, I was a little confused with the translation. Did Bartholomew kill his mom with the lawnmower, or just mow the grass?
The original translation doesn't have him killing his mother with the lawnmower. Rather, his mother is maimed by the lawnmower and then marries the lawnmower. It's actually a pretty big part of German culture. It's called the Night of Grass and Blood. I won't get into it too much. Yes, Shelley.
Okay, so I saw that there was a recipe for eyeball stew in the book. If I make that and give it to you, can I get extra credit, please?
We'll see how good the stew is. And last but certainly, I've still got two more. How about you, Mary?
Hi, yes. Why is it called a fair lark on Sunday if all of the larks were bloodthirsty and none of them got a good ending? That none of them were fair.
Well, you have to understand that fair is a translation. It originally comes from the word carnival. We're more related to the word carnival in the sense of a fair. So it's more like a carnal lark on Sunday, i.e. a vicious lark on Sunday.
I was just thinking that maybe it was the larks were the sidekicks we made along the way.
I think that you're really doing your reading here, Millie, and I'm so glad that you came to that conclusion. That's actually my next slide, if you see. word for word. Whatever extra credit Shelly gets with her stew goes to you now.
Looks
Joe,
like someone's
you had
been
something.
plagiarizing.
Professor, I know we're almost out of time, but you haven't assigned the homework yet. Will you be assigning the homework?
I'm gonna kill
And
you.
after a several-page assignment of homework scene.
Wait. So I don't understand. Is the buffalo grass the straight man?
Oh,
But after that profound question, which still lingers in my mind, and one of the reasons I find myself drawn to A Merry Lark on Sunday, is that it ends when the moral of the story articulated in a brief, spectacular 2-minute piano solo, which explains everything that we need to know in this story, with the piano speaking by itself.
Well, as you can see on my next slide, the moral that I got from our good friend Uncle Jordina is that love is not useful. Of course, I is meant literally in syllable. It's not a metaphor about love, it is literally about how love is contained within your life.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
That's the sound as Bartholomew descends into hell.
John, Copeland has nothing on you, man. That was...
Sorry, I interjected. I missed the part where
I particularly enjoyed that for a portion we had a duet in which Cal was playing that forgotten medieval instrument, the lecture.